Welcome back, guys and ghouls. Well,
good evening, everyone.
Hopefully not ghouls after tonight.
I'm sure there's like a ghoul or two in the audience.
Oh, yeah. Henri Marv.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I hope you guys are too. We're back again once more to the world of Cairne. This new chapter, Echoes in the Abyss, episode 5. Where we're going to pick back up in the Sunken Library. I'll let one of you guys do a recap if you're up for it. Your call. Everybody's so eager, I can tell.
Yeah, we went to a library. We looked around. I punched a librarian with a hammer that I made out of a god book. And then I became a god.
The librarian
met
possibly
someone.
also made out of a god book? Variety of books?
We met someone downstairs that led us to safety when the librarian became sentient and started to attack us.
This is true.
So now we find
that's
ourselves below the deck of whatever that circular platform was once we all collectively turned the 4 keys.
Yeah. Ariel saved you.
We were probably gonna die. Like, some number of us were gonna die.
The fight was not going in your favor very well.
No, not at all.
In our defense, it was doing something like 80 damage a round in a system where you heal 1 hit point a day.
Yeah, it didn't play. It was not nice, and not happy that you were in its library.
Yeah. And many of us don't have that high of a hit point maximum, so this thing was doing some damage.
Yes, it was scary, but Ariel was there, skin of your teeth, made it down into the lower secret levels of the library. And that's where we're picking up. We are out of initiative, so I will clear the turns. Unless Az is just desperate to stay up there and solo this thing.
We were all on the platform.
1v1 me, noob. I'll bring us to the downstairs.
Told you there was a restricted section. There's always a restricted section.
Bring Ariel down there with you. So, once again, the platform that you were on, where you turned the keys, slowly sank into the floor, rotating slightly as it did, and brought you down onto another stone floor, at which time the opening up above closed just in time for you to see the librarian coming after you. The lights kind of poof on a little bit down here as you land, and Ariel turns shimmering slightly in the dim light and looks across each of your faces worriedly a bit and says, "You shouldn't be here, but I suppose better that you pass through than pass on."
Deeply appreciate your help.
Did we manage to get any hit points back into Wilhelm?
I don't know, did
Yes.
we?
I believe
Yes.
Wilhelm is up.
I am up. I have a whopping 4.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
No, you brought me up from 0. I had none before that.
4 hit points. I mean, that's how most wizards start the game in D&D, right?
It's such a pity that we're level 17.
No.
Wait, we're level 17?
Not if
We're
you stat
somewhere
yourself
in there, I don't
correctly,
even
no.
15.
15. Close.
Yeah.
Close.
You kept Wilhelm from dying.
That's a big
You
deal.
did good.
That is a big deal.
Nice.
She says once again, it takes some time for the librarian to calm themselves. In the meantime, you are welcome to peruse, though you may not take any of the works from this area. Not by order of me, but by consequence of the book itself.
This is a fair price for our lives.
And
I must say, we have traveled far, seen many strange creatures, but I do not believe we have ever seen the like of the librarian.
he was a much nicer man once upon a time.
I'm surprised to hear he was once a man.
He was a very kind, knowledgeable gentleman. So, I should warn you, this particular section of the structure can be a little quirky. So, just, if you see something strange, maybe just avoid it or look the other way.
We will proceed with the utmost of caution.
Okay. And I will leave you to it then. I will come back when the librarian has settled.
Thank you, Oily.
And with that, she will dissipate. Leaving you in the silence of the library.
I walk over to check on Wilhelm. My friend, I believe we both nearly took a more permanent trip to the land of the dead.
I guess so. Honestly, I didn't really wake up. It was just kind of like, now you're in pain. Here. I obviously was gravely injured. I can still feel that. But I don't even I didn't even know I was attacked.
Might be for the better.
I don't imagine the experience would have been more pleasant if you were awake. I can tell you, my end of it was deeply unpleasant. The blows stung somewhat. Truly, I cannot believe that was once a person.
How? How can someone become that? That didn't seem, at least what I was able to see of it, didn't even seem human.
The old magics had power that you may be unfamiliar with.
He also could have been a spirit that was affected by the blight in some way.
I'm pretty sure I did like a spirit powers check, and he didn't turn up.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, listener would respond, No. Were he a spirit, I might have seen him coming. Whatever that thing is, managed to go from a man to that creature without passing through death in the middle.
The blight might have had something to do with it. The and its effects are responsible for a lot of the horrors that exist on Cairne today.
Just a few.
Hyperbole.
Just a few.
Just a handful.
I don't know. Makes the librarians I dealt with before seem kind.
Yes, might be best for us to recuperate.
Recuperate? What do you mean? I feel better than ever. Just over here, like, hitting bodybuilder poses. Like, I'm fucking yoked, man. Like, does this bicep look bigger than it did, like, earlier today? Because I'm pretty sure it feels like it's
No,
just
I
like...
believe it is.
There we go. OBS is being wonky, sorry.
Azdruzhar, your resilience and vitality continues to impress me. If only we all shared it.
If everyone would like to come together, I'm gonna try to treat some of the wounds and heal up.
I love healing.
I then would like to treat myself, but while I'm doing this, I am going to use the mister to release the healing gas.
Okay. How much does that heal everybody?
I am gonna burn 4 herbs.
Okay. That's fine. Go for it.
Which means this is actually going to be a whopping 21 hit points.
Oh.
That's a good roll.
Chunky.
Mine. So 29. Plus the +2 from my skills.
Chunky. Very chunky.
Half the stuff we had.
It's probably much needed, though. So,
Definitely much needed.
Wilhelm, based upon where you're standing, everyone's kind of gathered around you, right?
I'll say that and make sure they're around me before I activate it.
Yeah. Just saying that everyone's kind of gathered around you, and you're hitting the mister and breathing it in and letting it kind of wash over you and feeling the little bit of relief that you're getting from it. And as you're doing this, you swear out of the corner of your eye, you see several books dislodge from their place on the bookshelves and move to other shelves, just float through the air. But when you try to like sharpen your gaze and actually get a good look at it through the mist, you don't see anything.
I see nothing. And then I'll like treat myself, actually bandaging up any physical wounds. Though I believe most of the damage was like mental, psychic.
I think he hit you with a physical blow to the chest, if I remember correctly.
I think Genesis had to like stitch your clavicle back together or something.
Yeah,
No, it was
your sternum got shattered, I think. Was it your sternum?
It was some major structural bone.
It was everything. I got hit with all the attacks. So I will like try to first aid and stuff myself too.
That's fine.
You might need to find the engineering recipe for a CPAP machine, because your snoring was probably what attracted the librarian.
A CPAP. I don't think we've come that far yet.
No.
So, as he's kind of tending to his wounds, what are the rest of you doing? Just hanging around, or?
I'll look for a rare tome.
I think Saoirse's gonna start looking at the shelves herself.
Okay. So just kind of show me where you're going.
right here first.
Okay.
I'll check over here. There's no books over here. I'll go over here. There's books in here.
Yeah, there's books and scrolls and parchments taped to walls and stuff all over the place.
I'm looking for a scroll.
Taped. That's Scotch tape.
Or a
I
book.
think Genesis would like to do the same thing she was doing before, going around with Uki to check the books and so forth.
Okay.
See if there's anything we can use since we don't speak Dwarven.
Okay. I'll let you take Uki's icon with you. I don't think she would be opposed to that. Just show me kind of where you're looking, where you're searching. Over there.
We'll start over here, but I don't know if my field of vision should include this. I can kind of see a beam of light coming through the door.
If you can see it through the dynamic lighting, you can see it.
Okay. So I'll start here, looking here first, and then kind of move around like over here, and then either towards that door or towards this shelf.
Okay.
Series of shelves.
All right. Listener, what about you? You just hanging out with Wilhelm?
Oh yeah, I'm hanging by Wilhelm, but I will look around from where I'm standing and try to assess what was the nature of this space. Is this just a further section of the library, or is this a bit more like someone's private study in the library?
Okay. So, see, Az, I think you piped up first. You go ahead and give me an investigation roll to start, Az.
All right. I'm good at those.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's make it interesting. Give me a D100 roll, please. Oh, you were ready for that, weren't you? You were ready.
We can be ready.
You are kind of digging through, and now you don't read Dwarven, do you?
I don't, but I've got this like artistic sense, right? I just kind of want to.
So the books in here are they're ancient, number one.
Ancient,
but they
yeah,
are
I'm looking
lovingly crafted. Like every single tome and scroll you come across is bundled precisely, is bound beautifully, just immaculately cared for. Aside from the time that has passed, with no actual physical people being down here. So I will say, one does stand out a little bit to you.
Yeah, musings on power, I hope.
Le Labyrinthine d'Illusions.
That could be fun.
It stands out because it's actually got a little bit of a shimmer to it when you walk past it.
That catches the eye. I can't take it with me, but I can flip through it while I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's got pictures.
All right, so you're gonna start reading it,
Sure.
or trying to, but digging through it,
I'll flip through it. Maybe it's got pictures.
looking at the pictures. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Saoirse, I believe you were next. If you'd like to make an investigation roll.
Sure.
Okay.
There you are.
Give me a D100. $79. You don't speak any Dwarven, do you?
No.
Okay. So, I will say that you do stumble across a book that's actually laid open on the table that you're on the top of the shelf that you're looking at, and it catches your eye because it's got this beautiful ink illustration across the open pages, the two open pages, and I'm talking about like illuminated text style.
Ooh.
And it is a picture of a harp with like a sun rising over top of it, as though the harp were a mountain.
Okay, this sounds like some Shaunakisha nonsense. Saoirse definitely wants to take this and ask Uki to translate.
Okay. All right, and Genesis and Uki. Let's get your investigation for your own search real quick.
Is that with advantage because I'm being assisted, or is it just normal?
No, just normal. You'll actually have the interpretation of what you find, though, because Uki's right there.
Okay. Oof.
13. Okay. No, give me a D100 roll.
Alright. Wait, why is... Okay. Oh my god!
Imagine that.
I rolled a 1. I don't know if that's bad or good. I can't tell.
Okay.
I have no faith in the extremes of the D100.
So, you find a book, and Uki translates it for you. It is L'Art des Illusions, and it is the Art of Illusions. And it is actually a small spell book, kind of detailing theory of illusion crafting, magically. As you kind of take it gingerly and open it and look at it, you swear you hear voices coming from it, Genesis.
Other voices?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 3, 4, maybe 5. Most of them sound really familiar too, which is weird.
Other... Okay, it's... You guys are just go one at a time.
Do you say that out loud?
And I like to think that Genesis is like...
Mumbling under her breath?
holding her forehead and like, oh, okay. It's talking to me, and there's too much happening right now.
As you say that, they actually get a little more louder and urgent.
Oh my god. Okay, one at a time. Like, if anyone's like looking closely, you would notice Genesis kind of looking up from the book and at the book, like trying to figure out what's going on.
They get louder.
I read what I can and then close it.
You close the book?
Just to see what happens, not slamming it, just...
They start shouting, cursing at you.
Whatever I did, I didn't mean it. Why are you mad?
Is any of this apart from Genesis's response audible to us?
No, all you're seeing is Genesis's response.
Mm.
Like, I'm holding the book at arm's length between my hands, and I'm just like,
Genesis, have you found something interesting, dangerous, perhaps?
So Genesis, give me a disadvantaged perception roll real quick.
Perception roll to hear the inside voice as opposed to all the other voices.
Yeah.
Disadvantage perception. Hang on one second. I didn't do the thing.
Starting off strong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real strong.
Hey.
Very
Yeah.
decent.
So your
Perception is 20/20.
your sharp mind manages to kind of pick out listener amongst the cacophony. So you can hear him and understand him. Although it's like the more you try to focus outward to other things, the louder and more aggressive and urgent those voices become.
Do they get quieter if I focus on them, or
No.
they're just they're a little loud. They're shouting at me, and it's not getting any better. I don't know if I woke someone up or what. I can't really hear.
As we have learned many times, psychic gestalts are dangerous at best. Perhaps apply your mask, see if it drowns them out.
Well, it didn't help with the other voices, but I'll give this one a shot, I guess. And I'll try to put the... I don't know if I didn't already have the mask on.
Probably not
I'll
if
try
you
to
were
put that
reading.
on. I'll put that on
because
then.
it does cover your eyes.
And ears, okay.
Yeah. So you put the mask on?
Right, I will.
All right. So
hand the book to Uki, I guess, so it doesn't fall out of my hands in the process.
as you put the mask on, it covers your whole face pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
You put the mask on, and immediately you feel this wet squelch, and it feels like 1,000 wriggling maggots are on the inside of your mask, trying to get in your nose and mouth and ears.
I dash it to the ground. I can't handle this. It's disgusting. What is that?
As you dash it to the ground.
I'm wildly flailing my arms in front of me in the air, like just.
I'm still hooked up to her brain at this moment. Usually I get perception stuff here. Am I picking up these sensations that she is experiencing?
It's like soft,
Yeah.
over-bloated rice, but they're wiggling.
But I will say, as you dash the mask down and you kind of peer down at it, flailing and through squinted eyes, you notice there's nothing there, and the voices suddenly go silent. Uki's holding the book like between two fingers, like so you didn't drop it. Should I put this back?
Are you okay, Genesis?
I wonder if I could read it now.
Please do not make the attempt.
I really want to know what's in there, though.
You've experienced what's in there.
Oh.
I'm gonna write a parable for Cairne called "The Lesson of Listener's Curiosity."
What's in there is unpleasant company.
I picked the mask up and dust it off, and I'm like, can't even pick a book to read without getting a barrage of things yelling at me. It's great. Probably not the one today. For that.
Poor Genesis.
We're gonna sit here and kind of quietly hold the heel of our palms to our temples and kind of rethink our choices before we retry this again, which gives Uki plenty of time to translate for Saoirse. Kind of lightly shaking her head, like. No.
Yes.
So yeah, I would like to know about the book Saoirse found.
Okay. You show it to Uki, who's a little nervous now. She reads the title across the back of the binding, and it translates roughly into The Harp of Dawn.
Saoirse kind of furrows her brows and like a bit and turns to the very beginning and Uki, do you think you can translate a little bit of the beginning so I know what this is about? I'm very curious.
She takes a look, kind of furrows her brow a little bit, and says, "This, it doesn't really make sense. It's like these same letters over and over again. Like there's an E and a G and an A and a D and another G.
It's a songbook.
I mean, I don't know anything about that. I suppose it could be.
So it is a book of songs.
It is a book of music, yes.
Hey.
But it's written in Dwarven script.
Well, I would like to get Uki to make a rough, like, translation of just Dwarven script to letters, so Saoirse has a small translation guide.
I'll allow it. It won't take long to do that. It's just, a handful of letters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Saoirse's curious about these songs.
Okay.
Ooh, I wonder, do the dwarves have pentatonic music, or do they have the whole octave?
No.
Or do they have some other nonsense? What are they working with here, Church?
Septatonic.
Oh shit. That's gonna be a messy interval.
Yes, they like 7/8 time as well.
I fucked up.
Dang.
They're dwarves. Come on. All right. So after that little debacle, as you're steady, kind of looking through these pictures, you do see a lot of diagrams, symbols you don't recognize. The script kind of wavers and shimmers on every page with this weird, like, iridescent quality. Almost like if you were in the dark, it might glow slightly. It's very pretty. You're not really making any sense of it, though. You don't have any magical ability, right?
Not beyond like what I can steal.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, it's pretty. You can tell it must be some type of arcane script, probably from the old
Very
world.
pretty. It's magically enchanted to make reading at night easier. How thoughtful!
That's very
This artisan was a true master.
And Wilhelm, you can go ahead and add your additional first aid to your heals if you need to.
I do. I will need lots of it.
Okay.
So that heals me another 2.
Okay. Solid.
And then after I finish doing that up, I'm gonna start, I think, looking at the safe book I got.
Is this the one you got up top?
Yeah.
Okay. Not a problem. It is a safe book.
It is also a language primer on the Dwarven language.
Very true, which could be very handy. All right, so Saoirse, you have your guide. You are welcome to sit down and start trying to transpose Dwarven music to Shawneesian.
Yep.
Listener, are you still hanging out with Wilhelm? Are you doing anything?
I am. I was going to try and ascertain the original purpose of this space, if you want me to make a roll on
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Well, let's just do a... I'll even let you choose perception or investigation.
that. Yeah, I'll do investigation. We'll keep it consistent. There you go.
Solid. It was definitely another section of the library, though it was either reserved for exclusive clientele or a private wing within the library itself for an individual, most likely a spell caster of some sort, a wizard or magician or something from the old world.
Very fascinating. I'll take like a quick stroll around the perimeter, as one does.
Okay. Just glancing around.
Yes, I poke my head back in here in the little like closet area.
Okay. All right. As you still staying with your book?
Yeah, it's got really cool pictures.
All right.
I can admire the artistry.
All right. And Wilhelm's doing his language primer. Saoirse's doing her transposition. Genesis,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
I'm going to put my mask on now that the voices have stopped and I can see there's nothing in it.
Okay. You put your mask on.
And then I look at the book.
Wait, it's hard to see with the mask on.
No, but I'm special.
I know.
I can just see it.
So I will say this: the moment you put your mask on, you hear a male voice in your ear say, "Whew, that was close."
Which ear?
Your right ear.
I look to my right.
It's just Uki.
Okay. I slowly look back at the book. Maybe crack open the cover, just lift it slightly.
Well, you're never gonna read it that way.
I'm just carefully just starting to open it.
That was the voice again.
Okay. Genesis looks back and forth from the book to her right.
Just Uki, standing there kind of looking around.
Back to the tome and slowly continues to lift the cover. I'm guessing this is like a hardcover book.
Do you do everything this slow?
Do I have one of those around here? Hang on. Yeah, substitute, I guess.
That was the voice again.
Do I do everything this slow? Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind of, I've got index and thumb, and I'm taking this cover and I'm like peeking in there to see if the voices are gonna start up any minute now when I open it like this. And if they don't, then I'll open it to the first page and try to start reading it.
Yeah. So you get about 3/4 of the way open, like real gradual, kind of almost cringing a little bit every second, hoping that nothing makes a loud noise or anything. You get about 3/4 of the way open, you're just about to throw it all the way open, and all of a sudden you hear, "Boo!"
I turn off my sense of hearing. I turn it off. I'll redirect that energy to my eyes and look at the book. I want to read. Why can't I just read?
So you open the book and it's no problem.
I'll read this one then.
Okay.
Great, because it could actually help me, you know.
Like I said, it's a theory book on the art of creating and crafting illusions. Every now and then the peanut gallery in your ear still peeps up with some smart-ass comment.
I can still hear it?
Oh, yeah.
With a defeated sigh, Genesis turns her sense of hearing back on. Just constantly, like, eyes darting to the right, like... Okay.
Alright, and listener, you said you were over here specifically. You wanted to look in.
Yeah, I peeked in.
Okay. So as Genesis is having her existential crisis, you peek into this central little room here. The first thing that catches your eye is this kind of mirrored surface here, almost like a small altar. It's like a small arch-shaped mirror with a little platform and a book laid out in front of it and some unlit candles on either side of it.
Ooh. Can I make a religion check? We never make those.
Yeah, if you want to get up and take a look at it?
Yes, I'd love to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you start kind of peering at it, and you're, oh, this is definitely Zevi baby. And you happen to look up into the mirrored surface, and you see your own face just beginning to fall away and rot off your internal structure. Just like chunks falling and turning black and brown and yellow of where your face would be, and behind it all, like as if on the back layer of the mirror you see like 1,000 little eyes just watching you greedily, hungrily.
Come now. I have been both more observed and more dead than that.
It continues.
I look down at the text.
It looks normal.
Yes. Candles, book. Remarkably haunted mirror. Do I detect spiritual activity from the mirror, or does this seem to be an arcane effect?
You can sense some arcane effects there.
Fascinating. Though, more likely than not, dangerous. I suppose I finally learned my lesson.
Wah, wah.
One must at least inform your friends before engaging in such foolishness. I come back over here towards the party and I let everybody know. If you happen to wind up on the opposite side of the room in that alcove, there appears to be a shrine, an altar perhaps, with a thoroughly ensorcelled mirror above it. I would not recommend gazing into it.
Saoirse looks up from her transcribing and gives a nod to indicate that she has understood and looks back down at her work.
Okay.
She a bit busy.
Yes. I sit back down over by Wilhelm and I say to him specifically, I must admit I was curious, but it seemed wiser to come back and let everyone know before I begin fooling around with powerful artifacts.
That's fair.
I agree. On the other hand, perhaps we don't fool around.
Indeed. Indeed.
I
don't know if I can risk 7 years of bad luck.
Smash!
I am concerned, honestly, about what is going on with the book. And the fact we were told not to take any because the book wouldn't allow.
Oh, yes, most definitely. I've had a look around. This is almost certainly the lair, perhaps private reading quarters of, may have been quite a powerful arcanist in the old world.
They didn't call it that back then.
Did
they? What did they call it in the olden days as?
Magus.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally Bob.
Sometimes Bob. Once in a while, wizard if they had a pointy enough hat.
The hat was critical. Perhaps I should find one.
The hat was kind of part of it.
I might have to give listener a big pointy hat now just for fun.
Wilhelm just looks up at his hat.
It's almost kind of like that.
They weren't. Our associate was not afraid of the librarian down here. How bad does it have to be down here if that won't come here?
You raise a fair point, my friend. Perhaps... I suppose we would have to ask Orly if she recalls and is able to say. It's always so iffy with the spirits. I suspect that entry into this place is permitted to those who know the special mechanism and forbidden to all others, even the librarian.
That makes some sense, but I almost feel like the librarian would know.
Hard to say if that creature retains any memories. It is, after all, mostly energy and paper now.
Well, it certainly contains all knowledge of this library. It hit me with it.
I as well. Along with
Apparently I as well.
remarkable... Oh no. Something dawns on listener. Oh, no. The librarian was able to easily and instantly drain any arcane energies that I attempted to marshal against it. I have a terrible suspicion.
What do you think? This is
quite possibly its private library, which would truly beg the question of why it would be unwilling to return.
Why would our new friend hide us in the librarian's bedroom?
I suspect that she knows something we do not about this creature, its past and its eventual fate that may prevent it from coming here.
I think we should be out of here as quickly as we can.
Yes, but we can do little else but wait for Orly to return.
I think I put my book away. I'm gonna see if there's another way out of it.
Why don't you show me that fancy mirror?
Are you feeling particularly bold, Az?
No, it's just, you say it's an altar of some sort.
Yes. To the god's name is Zevran, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's an altar to Zevran, as one perhaps might expect in such a place.
Mm-hmm.
We step up and I point it out and I say, the arrangement of book and candle is typical, perhaps. The mirror, though, if you gaze into it, seems to have been thoroughly ensorcelled. I, for one, saw massive eyes and my own, outer layers stripped back. Which is quite foolish. It's not even how an Ogham dies, really.
I have a question.
What you got?
Do I know what a dinosaur is?
That's a hell of a question.
Well, we don't really have a dinosaur in the lore of Cairne.
Yeah.
You might associate one with a dragon.
So
Do you
I
know what a
guess,
dragon is?
Genesis sort of to the sides, like muttering, "The fuck is a dinosaur?"
There's still dragons?
Huh?
What's a dragon?
A really big snake thing that flies in the sky and does old world magic.
I have to
This one's
ask,
got, like,
are you
No,
guys
these were not known to my people.
are you having this conversation openly, verbally?
I can't do that.
Well, as
Yeah,
okay, where you're standing, where your token is.
sure.
Okay. Upon the mention of dragons,
Oh,
what appears? No, the mirror lights up a little bit, and you and listener catches your attention.
did I say the code word?
In the reflection, you see a very handsome, dragon-like man
Oh
with
boy.
golden scales and one eye slightly different than the other.
It's a scrying mirror. I knew this fucker was a scrying mirror.
Oh,
Just kind of
that
cock my
is
head. Huh.
Most interesting.
What a strange looking creature.
What's that, Master Race?
I don't know if this is a dragon. It's got like plates on its back. And this one's got tiny arms. What is this?
This is their adolescent stage.
Is it really?
Such a large skull
Adolescent to
and
young adult.
tiny arms.
Yeah. As they mature, they kind of lengthen out in the torso area, and the legs kind of turn into a tail.
What just happened?
Seems perhaps slightly less intentionally evil and more a tool, a responsive
Pause.
one.
Pause. Wouldn't if listeners seeing Draken in the mirror, listener has also seen Draken in the orb.
That is technically true. If it's any member of the sigil party, I have seen them. I've seen the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Would I recognize Draken?
Oh, with your intelligence, yeah.
Wait a second. That's a dragon. I've seen this one before.
What do you mean?
When have you seen it, listener?
The night we stayed in the village, and I saw a vision through the floating orbs of the strange group. I believe they've been watching us. Now we might have the opportunity to watch them as well.
Are you still watching the mirror?
I'll look back, yeah.
As you do, the creature in the mirror turns and looks towards you, and you see this wicked grin spread across its face as its scales darken into this oily sheen, incandescent mother of pearl, and its eyes slowly turn black, and it kind of pulls back, and you see its body elongating into this more serpentine form, growing larger and larger, and it pulls back even further, and you see it just raining from its maw, just black toxic water across the land, people screaming and convulsing and dying under its assault.
Hard to say if this is a true seeing. I suspect not.
I'm gonna need a bigger sword.
Hey, listener. Who else did you see in the orb that night?
Oh, there were a number of strange people, but some of them were fairly normal looking. There was at least... There was one sort of brownish human, one kind of pale with a very flat face. There was the, dragon, I suppose. Another creature that seemed also kind of like a dragon. Perhaps a second dragon. I don't know how much variety they have.
Pale with a flat face.
Yes, and big... what do you call it? Hair. That's right, the bit that goes on top. Big hair.
Saoirse's eyes are going to widen, and she's going to look at the mirror and say ghost.
Okay.
No, it seemed to be a living creature.
No. It's the woman who rescued me whenever I went inside of myself. Whenever the somnambulist, did the thing in the spirit world. It sounds like you're describing Ghost.
Off to the
Named
side over
herself
here.
Ghost. It's very strange.
Oh, an
So
infinity
maybe it's a
sided
ghost
die.
bag,
That sounds
yes.
cool. Continue.
Well, if we know her name at least, let's see. Turn back to the mirror. Oh, I can't speak aloud. I don't know if connecting to this thing psychically is a very good idea.
I'm sure it'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Many terrible things, some of which we've experienced in the past, yeah.
Also, Saoirse did say
Yeah.
her name out loud,
Yeah, what do you mean a ghost saved you?
or her nickname.
Yeah, Saoirse said ghost, but nothing happened. It's still the image. It's ever expanding. You see this dragon creature growing darker and more malevolent. And you also see what appears to be this frog-faced creature behind him, almost looming in the distance with these big eyes and this one thing hanging off its forehead like a lure, wearing a wide-brimmed hat.
Very strange artifact, this. I'm reluctant to engage it, mind to mind, if indeed it has one.
Wait, she said people call her the ghost. So Saoirse tries that to the mirror.
Still no change.
As what exactly did you say before it? What were our precise words when it began to show the dragon?
I don't know. I just said dragon.
I feel like it may have responded to the question.
But that wasn't.
Because you said dragon, and then I asked, there's such a thing as a dragon. What is a dragon?
Yeah, I started describing a dragon, and then it showed us one.
Saoirse, would you care to describe the ghost? Perhaps address the mirror directly, though I wouldn't recommend looking directly in it at first.
So, Saoirse will start to do so. Well, I believe she was Fae, and she had big, curly, silvery white hair, and white skin, and sort of a flat, featureless face with solid white eyes with dark circles around them. Anything?
So it begins to warble and change just a little bit. And give me a perception roll real quick.
Okay.
Okay. For just a moment, the image begins to shift and kind of muddy and lose definition. For just a moment, you see this flicker of an image of the woman you're describing, except she looks emaciated and she's wearing rags and her hair has been completely ripped off to the point where it's just short, like a buzz cut, and she is in chains on a stone floor in a fetal position, crying. And then it's gone.
Oh, okay, so this is the bad futures mirror.
Saoirse will just put her hand over her mouth and, like, you know, she'll kind of tear up just a bit. Because, I mean, like, this is the woman who saved her. Like, you know, they met soul to soul, literally, so,
That's
you know,
fair.
that flicker of an image in that stage just makes her deeply sad.
That's fair. But yeah, it doesn't hold the image. It goes kind of blank after that.
It's a mirror of bad futures. I don't want to look. And Saoirse turns away, and there's a tear or two streaming down her face.
That's fair.
Can I make an Arcana examination of the mirror church?
Sure. What do you want to do?
I would like to determine a little bit, if I can, how it works, how it's set up.
Okay.
Based on what we've done in the past, it seems like one can examine an artifact and get some notion of its function if you make a decent Arcana roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go for it.
It's not a decent Arcana roll.
It was a good attempt.
Yes.
It's beyond anything you've ever encountered. You imagine in the hall this thing would fetch an astronomical price.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely rare, probably a one-of-a-kind type item, an artifact maybe even, left here by the dwarves.
I'm having a technical difficulty. I will be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right. A fascinating item, clearly the work of the ancient masters, but as a result, I'm afraid I cannot truly suss out its function.
What you got, Genesis?
Do I learn anything from this book?
With Uki sitting there with you, you don't have any arcane abilities that, would be benefited by a full study of it. However, the theory is not lost on you. And it is like theory craft of creating believable illusions.
Which I could benefit from because I've literally have the magic in me, right?
Yeah. So, and now you haven't had a chance to fully, this is a book. So you haven't had a chance to fully study it, obviously. However, based on your intention and your attention to it and sitting there with somebody translating it, I'll give you a +1 bonus to illusionary tactics going forward. How about that?
Awesome.
Very nice.
Are you still standing over there?
I think so.
Okay. Well, give me a perception roll for you and Uki, please.
2 rolls, one for each of us, or
Yeah, 2 separate ones.
Perception. Okay, here we go. First one's me. Oh.
Okay.
Second one's Uki. With whatever her modifier is. Oh my god. That's a 1.
Ouch.
Nobody noticed anything.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Do I notice anything?
No.
Cool.
Nothing out of the ordinary. You have a little bit of a headache.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not.
peanut gallery is irritating.
It's not entirely anything uncommon for your character to get headaches, though.
I'm just resting in the knowledge that I might actually really like dinosaurs. And we're just like, look at his little arms. Over here in the corner, making like little hand puppets of dinosaurs with little chompy teeth.
Uki's looking at you weird.
Of course.
So, Saoirse, I'm gonna just speed things up a little bit with your transposition. I'm gonna let you pull one song out of this book. Okay?
Okay.
Based on your ability, your knowledge, and your heritage, you're not able to get the full knowledge of the book, but you are able to figure out a way to generate a piece of music on a stringed instrument, most likely, but it will actually create a 30-foot sphere of sunlight.
Ooh.
For
okay.
as many rounds as you have constitution points, at which time you will be fatigued, because it takes a lot to generate this level of power. But this is like some top tier old world musical magic.
Sweet.
It will have all the effects that sunlight normally would, say for like on the Ogham, on how it affects void-born creatures, that type of thing. So it could be pretty useful.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a listener will deeply appreciate that.
Yeah, just keep in mind it will drain you to do this. It's a very powerful magic. And it's not your usual type of shtick either.
Yeah, drain me permanently or like
No,
rest?
it's fatigue. It's just fatigue.
Okay. Alright, so it's like a minute per constitution point after which I start generating fatigue, or?
No, a round.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that permanently, like, for that time period, is that fatigue, like, exhaustion? Or does...
Yeah, it'd be like a
heard
level
that
of
mechanic.
exhaustion. It'd be like a
Okay.
level of exhaustion for D&D terminology.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. All good. All good. And as, unfortunately, you're not really gleaning much out of your book because you're just looking at pictures. Other than it's beautiful.
Really pretty pictures.
Wilhelm, of course, you are gaining a beginner's knowledge of Dwarven. He's over there like, I am, you are, he, she is.
Well, I wanted to put that away after listener and I talked, and I want to start looking around the room.
All right. That is fine. Well, we have not given you a search roll yet. Would you like to take one?
Sure.
Let's give an investigation. Show me where you're searching.
I'm just moving around the room. In particular, I want to start moving towards, like, this area.
All right. Well, go ahead and put yourself up there. We'll say that's where your search goes off.
Okay.
And then give me your investigation roll.
Second, it doesn't seem to want to play nicely, so...
I will help you. There you go.
Okay. Apparently, it wouldn't let me actually go through the wall or something.
Yeah, no, the walls will stop you.
That to me too.
The walls will stop you. It
Like,
keeps
I'm
you
bumping
from.
into a wall.
It keeps you from, depending on the map, going into places you shouldn't know are there. Can't trust all players. They're not all trustworthy like you guys, aside from hacking Roll20's dice system.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
There's a 27.
Ahem. Ahem. Hacking Roll20's dice. No, let's just show you. Give me a D100 roll. 57. Interesting. So I'm gonna say you've got your little primer there with you, and you're kind of like using it and what you've learned already, and you're looking around, and this book kind of stands out a little bit from the others for you. And it's you managed to piece together the Les Hôteliers Égarés, the Lost Stars.
Your mic's doing the thing again, by the way.
Oh, is it? Here, let me bump out and in. Silly microphone and Discord. Okay. So yeah, it was
The missing stars.
the Lost Stars.
Lost.
And which is an interesting title, but you look in a little bit and you manage to kind of piece together a bit of the foreword, let's say, of the book, right? And from what you can gather, this is a book that actually details the proper recovery and use of lost or fallen stars. It's basically how to forge meteor metal.
That's very exciting.
That is. I'm gonna look at I look at the book. Would you be okay coming with me?
The book does not respond.
I'm gonna put you here, and if you're still here when I come back, then I'm gonna take that as you're interested in joining me on this journey. If you do move away, I will understand and will not have any hard feelings.
You sound like me at a party at the end, where I'm like, okay, if you want me to drink you, be here when I get back from the bathroom.
I would like to look for something specific, Church.
Okay.
Working on the theory that this was an Arcanist's private library, there's anything I know about arcanists, they love to write about themselves. I suspect someplace there might be either a journal, perhaps even a grimoire.
Okay.
I would like to examine the room, specifically desks and other such surfaces,
All right. Show
for
me.
books that are not printed with a title or anything. They don't appear to have been bound professionally from a manuscript, but were instead intended for writing in.
All right. Show me where you're gonna search.
I'll start up here. Whoops, let me scooch around. I'll start here and I'll check like this. I'll check this surface. Looks like this desk over here, desk over here. I'm not looking at the shelves. Only like a crazy person would put the book that they're writing in up on the shelf with all the library books. I'm thinking it'll be down someplace where you can write in it. You can sit and write.
Okay. Yeah. Give me your first investigation roll.
There you also.
Yeah. You don't really find anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of really fascinating books around, but nothing that suits that description.
Okay. Like throughout the entire room?
Just in that section. We'll go through the 3 points you kind of... But I want to give everyone a chance to... We're kind of round robining a little bit.
Yes, of course. That's the first one. Everybody else can go.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to help Uki find something, if I can. Not that I'm much help, but you know.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Give her an investigation roll.
Okay. Ooh, 21.
Yeah. Give me a D100 roll.
That is a 59.
59. Okay. Let me find that real quick.
I'm not really sure what she would have been looking for, but hopefully.
Huh. The Coffret aux Rêves. I'm probably butchering this French language horribly. But it is a book entitled The Dream Casket. And it is a small spell book that details a handful of spells that allow for the manipulation of dreams.
I'm just gonna write that down because I don't know if Uki would put the book back or not.
Okay.
To my knowledge, she's not really spell related.
No.
But I don't know if the topic of dreams interests her. Maybe enough to look past the magic stuff. So we'll just say that
Probably interest
she looks at
Az.
it for.
After having his life saved.
but Az is way over here.
Yeah, no, I was just joking. Okay.
Well, I guess she'll look at it for an appropriate amount of time to her character's motivations, and then watch the horror show that is this one.
Yeah. Horror show. Love it. Love it.
So there's like a divine shrine-ish thing over here.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Is it?
Is it?
Does it have like a latent spark of its divinity?
I mean,
Does it feel different than like an arcane would?
no, not really.
No.
No, not really.
So it's just somebody's like. It's not like God touched work.
Not that you can pick up on at least.
Okay.
Genesis.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna send you a secret message.
Ooh.
Oh, secret.
Secrets.
Secret. I'll send it in Discord.
Alright. I turned my microphone to try to pick up the sound of me flipping book pages, so I had to turn it again. I'm just messing around with the prop humor before I start actually trying to use it with the next one.
There you go.
Have I heard this before?
Well, you know.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
I can
good.
I can phrase that again.
Well, I bet you guys are wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring this book with the cool pictures over and bring it to my doctor friend.
Okay.
Say, hey, there's some really cool pictures in this one. I couldn't make heads or tails of any of it, but some really cool diagrams about some stuff that I have no idea what it's about. But it was pretty.
I would love to look at the book. And in fact, I might have actually found a book you'd be interested in. It's how to smith meteorite.
Meteorite? That's a rare substance.
Yes. To be fair, there's a lot of rare substances we seem to be finding.
Clean water.
We found that.
It's true. There's some weird stuff in it, but you found it.
I'll trade you.
Alrighty. I will quickly look through the book to see if I recognize any of the words.
It translates. The title you can translate. It's a labyrinth of illusions. It appears to be a spell book.
Alright. Labyrinth of Illusion.
Can I make another roll there, Drew?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would also like to make a roll after him.
Sure. Okay, once again, a lot of really cool books over here, listener. Nothing quite what you're looking for, though.
That's fair. I'll move on to the next space.
Okay.
Let me know when it's time.
All right. Saoirse?
Yeah, Saoirse specifically would like to see if there are any, cool artifacts in here, if anything. But I will also take cool books.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll, if you would, please.
Rip.
Yeah, not really. You're befuddled by all the wonder around you. and your new knowledge.
Yeah.
All right. Genesis, what are you doing? You and Uke.
Genesis seemed focused on the task of helping Uki find a tome to read too, because she'd been consumed with helping Genesis find the tome on the theory of magical illusion. So Genesis didn't want Uki to be left out. Genesis has been kind of suspiciously glancing to the right this entire time. Not really turning her head, but just kind of darting her eyes over, and then looking with an exasperated expression and rolling the eyes, like, something's there, but whatever, Until this last time, her eyes dart over, they widen, and then she closes her eyes, and her head drops, kind of like she puts her hand like on her forehead, and her eyebrows sort of knit together. She's like, suddenly everything she was working on is just forgotten. She's like trying to keep a straight face.
Okay. Struggling. Genesis on the struggle bus.
It's a weird mix of sorrow and anger. It's just like the kind that gets you like cracking your knuckles and just like laughing because you're just like oh 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 and you're like digging a heel into the floor like.
Nice. I like it. So you're seeing this listener just as you're basically approaching that area, since that's where it's happening.
Well, I was gonna bring Uki this book about meteorite stuff. It's like, Uki seems like she'd like some stuff about smithing. Like,
You can bring it.
the most. And what's up with Genesis, guys? Like,
Is there a lingering effect from the book that you picked up earlier?
Are you asking her? Or?
Yeah, that's to Genesis.
okay.
Are you responsive at all?
What do I roll for that?
I'll let you roleplay it.
She's very distracted. I think the only response to this you would hear verbally or like in our regular communication pathways would be like the addition of a light squeak.
Oh,
Not like an audible one, but one
Yeah.
made by the sound of someone's teeth rubbing together in a way that they didn't usually, just grinding together.
that couldn't possibly be good. Well, I look back at Az and Saoirse and off in the distance Wilhelm. I'm going to attempt to break Genesis out of whatever could possibly have her right now. If it takes me down also, well, do something about it, I suppose. Try your best.
Okay.
there's nothing to hit.
Yes, that is the issue. One of many. Because while I do possess some abilities in this vein, I have always assumed Genesis is to be much more substantial.
Okay, well, if something to hit shows up, I'll take care of it.
Very good. And I turn my attention back to Genesis.
Alright, what are you trying to do?
Well, I suppose this is rude, but we are friends. You can be a little rude with your friends. and I'm just gonna try and open the door. Normally I knock.
Yeah. All right. So you're trying to push into her consciousness?
Yes.
I probably could have phrased that better, but you get the idea. So yeah. So Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
give me a disadvantaged perception roll, please.
Okay. Disadvantage perception. Oh, that's pretty disadvantaged. That's 11.
Okay. So the note I sent you,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you think is trying to do this.
Oh. Oh.
So I'll let you respond in kind.
Hmm. That's what I definitely think.
Yeah. Like your surroundings have folded away and that's all you see right now.
That's what I for sure. Okay, well, hang on 1 second. Let me just ask you one thing.
Okay. Depending on this question, I'm storing up one of my evil laughs. We'll see.
Yes, sir.
Do, 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 do. Well, Saoirse, I suppose, she sees Genesis in this sort of mental anguish, and Saoirse would like to play a song to calm her. She's one of those trusty airworms
Okay.
to
Well-
calm her mind.
Let me get her reaction out first.
Alright, I just wanted to
Yeah, because this is the...
put that out there.
Yeah, that's fine. No, it's just... This is the speed of mental communication, so it's happening all very quickly. Despite the... making sure everything's kosher.
Right, right. And I was going to ask after the response, but I thought I'd fill the silence.
No, you're fine. That's all good.
Okay. What do I roll for that?
Your ability score. You're just like normal.
Like a normal D. I should have an attack modifier, but I forget what.
Try hit the idiot button.
Let's go! Alright, my DC apparently is it really 8 plus 3 plus 4? Can't be right. No, my proficiency bonus is a 5. It must be 16.
Okay.
Um,
Just haven't updated
so,
it. It's all good.
so, yeah, my if it's proficiency plus intelligence plus 8, then it's 8 plus 5 plus 4. Which is actually 17.
Okay.
Sorry.
Am I about to have to make a saving throw?
There was an ASI I didn't calculate in.
Yep.
Um,
I believe so.
yeah. Yeah.
What
so
mana?
that's-
Tell me how you're lashing out. You describe it so that he kind of knows the assault that he's being hit by.
Genesis hears the voice and her fingernails dig into the centers of her palms. Like, they're very short nails, so it takes a lot to get that to happen. She's not even, like, looking at anyone. She's just wearing the mask, heads down, like, sort of, like, quietly exhaling in that way where you're just like, oh my god. and then this happens. So there's not really any external thing to describe here because it's all like,
you can be creative with what listener sees or experiences if you want.
Okay, theoretically, if you're like walking up to open a door into this space of Genesis' mind, the first thing that hits you is that sort of dangerously thin air at high altitudes where you're like, should I be up here? And then I gotta figure out if you would know what pennies taste like.
Copper.
Copper? Yeah, no.
But,
I've actually probably tasted more copper than the average like creature, it being present in groundwater from time to time.
The nasty stuff in groundwater. Yeah. But filtered out and placed directly on what you would consider a tongue.
Be my feet, mostly.
The weird, nasty metal is on your feet.
Oh, that's suboptimal. But what does it do to me?
These are just the harbingers. Alarm bells start to go off in your mind of every kind. Just like, oh, something's about to happen, and as soon as you think that this happens, like in the space of 3, like it's an instant behind this.
These are adjacent thoughts.
Yeah. The speed of
you
thought.
smell the thin air, you taste the nasty metal on your feet, you feel the sense of a foreboding concern, and then you feel the impact of this screeching wave of an anguished yell projected directly into your brain.
Okay.
So that's what it's like.
Okay. So yeah,
Sounds awful.
Give me your intelligence save as you are absolutely pummeled with psychic energy.
Okay, allow me to double check something real fast.
Okay.
Do I actually roll the d20? I roll it, right?
This is just a save. We're gonna figure out damage and all that depending on what he does here.
Okay.
I'm double checking because we gave listener, in exchange for losing all of his OM shit, we gave him some mental proficiencies essentially.
I do remember that.
If you want, I think it only gave me proficiency and not advantage. I was just double checking.
Okay.
But here, you have a save. Holy hell! I'm gonna spend a luck point if you don't mind.
It's your luck point to spend.
You hate to roll a 1.
Do it.
I think it might kill me actually if I roll a 1 on that one.
You can do this. You got this.
That's a substantially better number and more in line with the average.
Much better. That is much better. All right, so Genesis.
Yeah.
How many points do you have left right now?
So, I don't know where this number comes from.
Okay.
And I could be wrong. But I have 17 on my sheet right now.
Okay. 17 total. You haven't really used them very much since you got here, so that kind of makes sense. That kind of adds up.
That doesn't. No, not quite, because we've been playing them as equivalent to your
level.
To your level in spellcasting. We're not 17th level.
Okay.
15?
Yeah, that'd be the max, and like you spent some to get through the outside barrier, like you spent some in the library.
3,
We had a rest.
4. Yeah, we slept.
I don't think we really completed that rest.
Yeah, we
because
didn't get any of the benefits.
I slept.
Yeah, no,
You
she
guys-
got her full rest.
Oh,
You guys
you're the
stayed up.
fanciest.
You guys stayed up. So when Az was about to go to sleep, the library attacked, and he was saying, in the combat, I can't even take a nap because you guys get into trouble.
Poor Az.
Because he was over there trancing. He was going to try to trance that last section because he took the last watch, and on his watch things went off. First 2 rolls were fine, so I did get a rest between opening the sky of the dome to let
Okay.
us all in and so
Makes
forth. So I would have
sense.
used a point or 2 maybe, so we can say 13
13, okay.
normal points.
That's fine. So, here's what's going to happen. Now that we've got all that sorted. Listener, how many, what are you sitting at HP-wise?
Slightly better after the good old boy Wilhelm used the mist. I'm at 54 whole hit points right now.
Okay.
So way more than I have. God.
So, this, if you've ever touched a high voltage line, like by accident, those ones that jolt you off your feet, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This is like somebody just stabbed you in the brain with one. And she just pours, like you open that door and you're like, maybe I shouldn't, whoa! And you manage to like lock down all the defenses you have in that split second. And this is like your Dragon Ball Z Vegeta versus Goku moment where you got your block up and the energy's just blasting past you. You know, it hits you hard. In fact, listener goes flying back about 10 feet off his, just landing on his rear end, and you are dazed. You took 22 points of damage.
Wow.
And it's not physical, it's all in your brain.
Yeah, Saoirse's going to say that, and we are playing that song right now to try and calm her mentally.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over there and see what Wilhelm's up to. You guys take care of that one.
So yeah, it's airworm time.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, go ahead and make a save, Genesis.
Wisdom.
Can I? Is that a cast that you do, or is it just kind of like a?
It's a song effect. It's just a song effect. She's just trying to calm you.
Okay.
You can intentionally fail, though. Your choice.
If she was in position to do that, I probably wouldn't have just taken 22 damage.
That's true.
Oh, I'm aware. I just thought I'd put it out there, but yeah, wisdom.
20.
That makes it.
Ouch.
Okay, and that's okay. In the moment, Genesis, everywhere you look, you see danger right now of that level. You just blasted one thing, but you're not sure what you did. You felt somebody intrude, and now you're feeling these energies washing over you, as if they're trying to tamp you down, subdue you.
Can I try again?
Well, hang on. We got one more action here.
All right.
I'm gonna do this. What's your AC, Genesis?
18.
18. Okay.
If I have time to do the thing.
What time to do what thing?
There's a shield reaction that I have, basically.
This is gonna catch you off guard.
Okay, well, probably 16?
16. Okay. So Dang.
Mm-hmm.
This is going horrible. So Uki tries to hit you with the butt of her rifle.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to knock you out. And you, in your like super heightened awareness of everything going on around you because you're terrified, you dodge. She misses.
No, no.
So Genesis, unless Wilhelm wants to do something.
Wilhelm does. Now that he knows he's gonna start coming over here,
You hear a ruckus.
I am gonna come investigate.
Okay. Yeah, you see Listener splayed out on the ground. Uki trying to butt Genesis in the head. Saoirse's over there playing her heart out. And Genesis looks like she's about to come unglued.
I'm gonna hit her. I'm gonna use one of my powders.
Do you still have the kryptonite?
You mean the anti?
The psychic kryptonite?
Yes, the you are now in the void dust.
Is that what you're using?
I don't have that at the moment. I haven't made any. I was actually just going to use paralysis.
Okay.
Classic.
Is this sleep or paralysis?
Paralysis.
Poor Genesis.
Oh, come on! That's not gonna do shit!
I don't
She
know
used
that.
the brain.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's in
I
my...
don't know that.
Oh my god.
It's okay. No, that's spot on. That's spot on.
Also, to be completely honest, I don't have any sleep at the moment either. I have blindness and I have paralysis. Blinding you doesn't seem like it's gonna do anything.
Okay.
Oh my
So
god!
didn't you give me the void dust?
You mean the void touch?
No. The I forget what we even called it at the time. The psychic disconnector. I think I asked you for a dose of that.
I might have.
Do you have it on your character sheet?
I don't. But I never delete anything off it, and I know I asked him for it.
Ooh.
So I don't think I ever put it in the item list.
Let me.
I
just dig through
actually,
the paragraphs of notes I have here.
I'm gonna do something else, Church.
Okay, so tell me what you
Oh.
got. Tell me what you got.
He's got some shit.
I'm gonna break out the Siren's Call music box.
Oh, he's
Oh.
got some shit.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Can
And
you
I'm gonna.
post in chat or something? Or is it on your sheet?
It is. Well, I don't have the. All I have is the title. It's from back in that weird alchemist, his little like laboratory.
Yeah. No, I remember.
And you told me the item I found was the
Sirens.
Siren music box.
Call. Okay. No, you're
I believe
good.
You just, yeah,
Here.
I'm gonna try to get close and use that. Because I thought you said it made people.
Yeah. So you wind it up and set it down.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, Saoirse's going a step backwards at watching him pull that thing out.
So, basically everybody within range is going to have to make a save, with the exception of Wilhelm.
Okay.
I may or may not be able to if I'm dazed.
You don't because you don't have ears.
Oh, perfect.
So give me a wisdom save.
Did I not step out of range enough?
No, you're still in it.
Rip.
So, Uki and Genesis.
Okay, 1 second while I get the sheet back.
Uki made it.
Nice.
Mental fortitude.
Uki's like, what music? I'm deaf in that ear.
Okay.
Too much gunfire. Oh my god.
God
Oh
damn.
wait, no, that's bad. Oh.
This is not good.
I mean, you can choose to fail it.
How do we undo the hacking of Roll20? Because this is
It's
not
all
helping
coming
me.
back.
There's no way in hell I would choose to fail this at this point in time, so I can't do that narratively.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I tell you what I tell you what I will let you do, Genesis.
Oh god.
I will let you use a luck point to try to fail. It's a luck point. Luck goes that way. So I will let you use a luck point to try to fail if you want to.
Viewers at home, we are now witnessing the only circumstance under which you use a luck point
To
on a
fail.
natural 20.
I don't actually want to.
Okay, that's all good.
no.
That's all good.
I feel like we just let it ride. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
It's a nat 20. Like if it were 21 and
No, she is in a hyper awakened state of mind right now. At least as far as her abilities are concerned. Like she
if
is
it were anything else,
she's dangerous right now.
if it were anything else. Ah.
Okay, no, that's fine. So, Genesis, we are back around to you. What do you want to
Oh
do?
my god.
Danger
What?
threatens you everywhere.
What happens to Saoirse because she failed a roll?
Basically, it's nothing terrible. It basically kind of lulls you, and you're just gonna start walking towards it. Start walking towards Wilhelm.
I want to get out of here.
Okay, what do you want to do?
I can't go up.
You can.
The library's up there.
Yes, it is. But I'm saying you can. You have the ability to. You are a mentalist.
I want to get away from this, but I don't really. I don't know. Things are assaulting me from all angles, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no out corner. Like maybe if I walk this way, I could get out of the focus.
Give me a. I'm gonna say let's use your abilities. Okay. You're in a heightened state of awareness right now. So give me a perception roll at advantage as you look for an escape.
That is a 22.
I'm gonna send you a secret note.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
I'm trying without harming you.
Just you can tell me if you want to do that or not. It's up to you.
Yes.
Okay. Give me an ability roll.
Okay. Which is, just get the button again. This one, which says this is a 17, and my thing is a 5 + 4, so this is a +9 roll.
Okay, so D20 plus 9.
I'm just being super lazy today. We're gonna hope it works out. That's 20.
Okay. So, Genesis kind of looks around. You know, she's got the mask on, but you can tell like she's focusing like through each of you like rapidly, and her brow knits real tight, and you can see her jaw just clenching where you could see like her jaw muscles moving, and she tightens up for a second, and then just poof, she's gone.
Can I get back on my feet at this point?
Yeah, you're not under assault at the moment.
Well, I was correct. Her mental powers far outstrip my own. Also, she seemed intensely disturbed by something. Where did that book get to?
Uki holds it up with 2 fingers.
Please set that down right there on that tabletop.
She'll
She
set it down.
just continues to stand there in a daze, in a lull, very, like, right by the music box.
Wilhelm, do you want to turn the music box off?
Yes, I will turn the music box off now that it did not do. And I'm gonna sit down and start creating two potions. I want a sleep and listener.
Yes, Wilhelm.
Is there any chance I can have a clipping or something from you? Piece of sap. I want to make a side blocker, but I need, and I don't
He just
have.
reaches up and he plucks a leaf and he hands it to you.
Can you excrete into this vial?
They come off quite easily, you know.
It is a
Wilhelm's
part
good
of you.
doctor. He wouldn't take anything without consent.
This is true.
Sorry to interrupt. I have just
No,
one
you're
small
good.
question. I
Yeah.
completely stopped writing when all that happened. When Listener got knocked back, he got knocked back for 21, you said?
22.
22, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So I'll hand Wilhelm like a couple of leaves. They're pretty easy to get rid of, you know.
Hmm.
And I would like to turn my attention to this book.
Okay.
I'm not touching it. I'm not looking at it yet. I'm not reading it. Arcane examination time. How much juice is in this thing?
A little bit. It's nothing overwhelming by any means.
Quite strange. Uki, did you catch the title of this one?
This is the one that Genesis found, right?
Yes.
It's the Art of Illusions.
Oh. Well, that may be sufficient to explain her disappearance, though not why she seems to have been so profoundly disturbed by it. There was quite the cacophony in her mind when I first checked in with her. I suspect she has sprung some defense of this place. Perhaps at random, although perhaps this book has some true significance to it. She may well still be here. Illusions, after all, can be quite powerful. I don't know what would be the easiest way to try and peer through the sort of illusion that Genesis would be rocking. She's a mentalist, after all, and that usually just means she reaches into your brain and makes it so what you're seeing is the room without her in it.
Yeah.
Very tricky.
Weird invisibility.
I have a dumb idea. I immediately undertake to test the dumb idea.
I like dumb ideas.
I walk up to the mirror.
Okay.
Shit, I can't speak aloud. Lacking a voice box is troublesome sometimes.
Saoirse walks up behind you.
Saoirse, could you do me a favor and
course,
speak
Lister.
Genesis's name to the mirror? Describe her, if you can.
So Saoirse will indeed do so.
Okay. It remains blank.
Ah, well. Thought perhaps we may be able to turn this place to our advantage momentarily.
It was a good try. It's a good try.
As we walk back down, I see Az off to the left there, and I go, Az?
Yeah, what's up?
Genesis has knocked me backward some distance, resisted
I
several
saw that.
attempts to calm her, and vanished.
I didn't know the last parts.
Yes.
What do you mean vanished? There's
vanished.
no doors.
There are not, at least not as far as I saw. However, the book that she appeared to be disturbed by is The Art of Illusions. So, I suspect she may still be here, just beyond our capacity to see.
Okay, so don't poke the bear.
That may be wise. I just wanted to keep you informed.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit over here and like flip through another one of these picture books, maybe.
What would be an appropriate check to try and overcome an illusion of this type, Church?
Well, first off, tell me where and what illusion you're talking about.
I suspect that Genesis is still in the room and is simply removing herself from my senses.
Oh,
not
that's what you were
vision in
talking
this
about.
case.
You think she's doing her invisibility trick?
I think she's doing an enhanced version of her invisibility trick, or at least I want to check.
Okay.
I behave as if this is the case for now.
Let's do an intelligence
Insane?
check. An intelligence check.
Okay.
Nothing's jumping out at you as something that shouldn't be there.
Very difficult. I hate it when you do the raw ability score checks because it just removes every potential bonus. You know, the numbers always suck ass when we do that. If she has hidden herself in this way, it is more powerful than I can overcome.
Are you doing the same thing? Or are you just
No,
looking for books?
I'm looking for another picture book.
Okay.
But I want to sense out with my see if there's like anything in the vicinity that has any like scrap of what like the power that I siphon off of.
Oh,
If there's anything in here touched by anything that I can like that's different than the arcane. It's kind of what I'm just like searching for.
well,
Like if this arcanist was aware of the powers or
nothing steps out at you.
researching them.
Yeah, nothing steps. I mean, there's a lot of power here,
Mm-hmm.
especially collectively.
Sure.
But nothing's that's standing out in that regard.
Okay. So not that kind of workshop. It's good to know.
Yeah, so I would like to try and locate Genesis myself.
How so?
So I would like to use a built upon rubble-esque effect. Because built upon rubble can be used to find weak spots in a structure, I would like to start to drum out a song as sort of a form of echolocation to, give me a sense of where objects are in the room and see if I can sense something like, human shaped, beyond the ones that I can see. Especially, like, if it goes through walls, then yes, I would love to do that.
Okay, so we're breaking out of the norm and being creative. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so you're going to basically try to echolocate.
In a sense, yeah. Using
So-
vibrations. Kind of sort of like Toph from Avatar The Last Airbender, honestly.
Yeah. So you start drumming. Gently, at first. First off, picking out what you're accustomed to with the weak points in the structure, which there are many, but it's very old. And, it's been through a lot of shifting and whatnot. Give me your ability roll.
There you are.
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
So, I will say, while you're not, you can't really determine, distinguish between like organic and mineral, right? You're
Yeah.
finding spaces more than objects with this. So I'll say that you sense a space here. You sense a space here. And you sense a space here.
Okay, so to everyone else, I would like to point in those 3 directions and indicate them as, like, places where Genesis could be.
Maybe we should just give her some space, guys.
But
As I understand the motivation here, but she is not working through emotional trauma. She's under psychic assault from some sort of defense measure or perhaps entity that occupied this space. She is not well or safe.
How do you know?
I was engaged with her when I thought that she fought it off. She achieved clear-headedness shortly afterwards, but I believe it may have redoubled its assault without any of us noticing.
Then maybe she's protecting us.
There is a strange wisdom to that after what happened.
As this is entirely possible, but I wish to offer some protection in return as well.
Don't use that word around me, please.
Protection.
No, the other one.
Possible?
No, the W one.
Wish.
Not it.
We're her friends. We'd also like to try and help her in return.
Don't get the impression that she wants to be helped.
Go up and examine the spaces that Saoirse's pointed out. Or, like, the walls adjoining them.
I believe there may be rooms beyond these walls.
Alright, so where are you starting?
I'm just looking. I'll start up here, I guess.
Alright. What direction are you looking? Are you searching? I should
Where Saoirse has indicated.
Okay. So give me an investigation roll.
They also.
Okay. In this immediate area where you're at, you don't find anything that looks like you could get through a wall.
Listener, one of the spaces was more this way.
And Saoirse points.
Very well. You examine that one. I'll check up here.
Alright. What do I need to do? Investigation roll?
Investigation.
Come on.
Wah.
Nothing stands out.
Oh.
Listener,
There's
you
a
want to
space
search
here.
again? Nothing stands out. Yeah. You gonna search
Okay.
too, as?
Yeah, is there like a book that's out of place on this wall here that maybe is a hidden lever
So
or a
as
sconce or something?
you do find, it looks like you could shift the shelf in front of you and move into here where you're at.
Excuse me, books. I'm going to sneak through here. Okay, I'll shove the shelf out of the way
Okay.
gently, so as to not like disturb too many books, but to make enough space for me.
All right. You push through.
Ooh, the super restricted section.
Double secret library.
Double secret restricted section. But no Genesis.
There's nobody in here with you now.
Oh.
Saoirse, where she's at, is just going to bang her forehead against the wall and say, I can't find anything.
Okay. Do you do it hard enough to do damage? Or?
No.
Anyway, so I was checking up this right-hand corner with that last roll.
Yeah, no, nothing standing out there. Although you do hear movement on the other side of the wall.
Oh, interesting. I come back, I look around the corner.
You heard it like it was inside. You can
Oh yeah,
see,
but I knew Az had walked off this way.
but now you can see where he's pushed through.
Double secret restricted section.
Ooh, fascinating.
He just got distracted.
Why don't you have Wilhelm come over here?
I will send
Can
him
you,
this
can
way.
you, can you go grab Wilhelm?
Yes. I'll walk back out and I'll direct Wilhelm up towards Az.
Have I finished making
Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
two? Okay.
Yeah, we'll let that go.
I will head over there.
All right.
Yes.
I found the double restricted section.
Double restricted?
Yeah. Like the restricted section within the restricted section of the library.
Oh.
You want to help me look around these forbidden books?
Sure. Let's. I would love to take a look in the forbidden section.
Okay. So, here, I'll move you into there. Are you guys both going in there? There you go. You're all in there.
Ooh, fancy.
This is a weird blend of esoteric, spiritual, and medical knowledge.
Literally tailor-made.
Well, no, this is it's basically the clerical section. There is some
Still literally tailor-made.
medical information there, but most of it is reliant on divine intervention.
Still literally tailor-made. For at least one of the characters that are in there.
Can we actually read any of it? I don't believe anyone in the room has any mastery of Dwarven yet, apart from what Wilhelm's picked up in the last hour.
Wilhelm could struggle through a few words here and there, but there's a lot of big words in these books.
Well, it is of great interest, but there certainly does not appear to be Genesis in here.
I would like to look at some of these books before we leave, but yes, I think our pressing concern would be Genesis. I would like to go look at the other locations that Saoirse pointed out.
Okay. Show me where. Or do I gotta get you out of there, don't I?
If you'd be so kind.
There you go.
Saoirse is sitting with her back against the wall of one of the spaces she pointed out. Kind of head, like, hands against her forehead, looking mildly frustrated.
I'm gonna move over to that one and take a look.
Where? Okay. Give me your investigation rolls.
Hey, Church, can you get me out of the jail?
Sorry.
Can I be out of wizard jail?
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
Hey, Church,
Yes.
I rolled a 30.
The DC was 79.
He's in. He's the best.
Well, I
that
rolled
ever
a
did.
natural 20.
So, what you found is a sequence of books along the shelf that's in front of you over there that can be altered, turned, like they actually turn clockwise and counterclockwise, which is a little odd for books on a shelf. But by manipulating them, you hear a latch clack as you turn it once. You turn the second one, you hear another latch clack, and it's loud, like it kind of rings out in the chamber. Clack! Clack! And you look around and you see that there's a few more of these that look like they might unbolt what could be a door. Would you like to continue on opening it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna move around doing them.
Alright. So you're doing the third one?
Yep.
Clack rings out through the chamber. The fourth one?
I'm gonna turn to the rest of the party at this point. I think that there's an opening here. And obviously this is very loud. Should I do the flannel one?
I see no particularly reason why not. It's, alerting the librarian a second time is not likely to get us in more trouble.
I think you should. She could
Cool.
be in there.
Here, as I'm gonna move you just in case you want to move, but we'll consider you in there for the time being
Okay.
until you move.
Then I will do it. I'm gonna continue.
Okay. I gotta check something.
Hey, wait. What are you doing? Maybe don't open the arcane prison in the secret secret library.
Wizard jail. Wizard jail.
Please don't open the wizard jail.
Okay. Are you opening it anyway, or are you gonna take Az's?
I mean, I already said it before as. I did ask. And unfortunately, Az was just a little slow saying it.
Sorry, I just got here. Why are you opening a wizard jail?
All right. So you're asking that as he's turning the last of the latch, and it clacks,
Super restricted section.
and the door slides in and over, revealing another chamber.
Do I see what the token?
Oh, sorry, no, I sat that there.
Okay.
We were feeling very accomplished for a moment.
Inside is a large room. There are several books lining the walls and the shelves, and what's more interesting is that there are several display plinths all over the room. Some of them have been knocked over. Some of them are still standing, but atop or near each one of them appears to be a glowing item that you can feel some degree of power radiating from.
Az, super restricted.
Ooh, the ultra restricted section.
I am completely terrified and also completely thrilled.
Well, let's have it, Church. Let's have a survey of plinth items.
What is on these plinths? Because
Yes.
she said don't take the books. She didn't say. She didn't say the.
Artifacts.
There are 8 items that stand out.
Oh.
There is a shield, a large dwarven style shield, a book that is actually glowing with a soft yellow light, a pair of very thick gauntlets. They look metal, but they almost look like they might be made of stone. A broadsword adorned with glowing dwarven runes. Let's see here. A black quill. A crown set with several precious jewels. A large scepter, the one like a king might hold. And a bundle of golden chains.
Fancy. Okay, so there's a glowing book. Come on, it's gotta be the grimoire. You know, it's what you do.
We're gonna take them all, right? Because I am not. We shouldn't, but we're gonna, aren't we?
Well, I have to at least check the grimoire.
Saoirse wants to check out some of the items as well.
Okay.
She's curious about the crown first off.
Okay.
Anything you can tell me about it?
Excuse me. The crown. It's beautiful. It's delicate. Some type of silver, maybe even mithril. Like I said, there are several precious stones set into it. It's majestically crafted. Beautiful. It's very light and cool to the touch. And you can definitely feel a degree of power radiating from it when you touch it.
Anything about that power that I can gather?
Not really. But it's not really one of your abilities, so it's okay though.
Fair enough.
It's not Shanikesian in nature.
Right.
It's definitely dwarven make.
What about the quill pen?
It's a very simple black quill, but you could swear there's a little trail of shadow that follows it when you move it.
How about that book? How about that glowing book?
I think Uki would look around as well, considering they're dwarven items and Uki has the closest history.
It's fine.
Just to have her doing something, because I don't
That-
think she'd be standing here in this room with all this stuff and not paying attention.
That makes sense. All right, we'll let Uki go next. As far as the book,
Mm.
it is it's strange. You open it up and it's like a blinding glow envelops you. It's not warm, it's not cold, it's just radiant light. And you being an arcanist, I'll let you give me a ability roll.
Sure. There you are, sir.
Okay. That's good. So you kind of reach out a little bit with your arcanist ability, and you make a soft connection with this item. And you hear these words almost ringing out in your head. It's not necessarily a sound or a spoken voice or even a mental projection into your mind. It's just like these words are suddenly there. And it says, I am the luminescent codex. Call on me to light the way in your darkest hour.
It's not what I thought it was. However, it is pleasantly reminiscent of the sun.
Listener, is there anything you can gather about these others?
It may take some time to inspect them. There are quite a few. I could go through them one by one. It seems like that would probably take a while. Church, how do you want to handle it?
Well, I'll tell you, let's let Uki get her pick in first, real quick.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to leave her out. What would Uki be interested in as far as checking out?
I'm not really sure. I've been looking at her character sheet to see what she's good at, and she's a sharpshooter subclass, but she has proficiency in the shield. So, for me, I think it would be either the shield, the sword, because in her ideals she says all are equal beneath the blade, but I don't know if it's a specific, more like theoretical or like metaphorical blade, or if there's
It's
like
both.
a sacred.
It's both. Like, she can use a sword proficiently. I don't know if Az would be more equipped for swords, but
I'm gonna go with the gauntlets because there's something that she could wear, and it wouldn't be like a blade that she would have to keep to use as a weapon to get close enough to use a sword on something.
okay.
A
The gauntlets?
sword and a shield, both of those are very melee. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do gauntlets.
All right. Does she pick them up? They're
Yes.
they're kind of heavy in her hands. Like, they feel weighty, but solid.
Yeah, I feel like dwarven gauntlets would suit Uki pretty well.
Looking closer, they do look like they have like texture, kind of like smooth granite rather than steel. And there's a large heart carved into the surface of each one of them along
Heart.
the back of the hand.
A harp, you say?
A heart.
Okay, heart.
A heart.
Not the musical instrument. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
Valentine's heart.
Cool. I guess, look at them more closely. I don't know that she has any magical backgrounds to be able to tell what they do, but
Okay.
the,
That's
the
fine.
craftsmanship is exquisite. So we're
It
just,
is.
Oh.
Very much.
Question.
So. Yes.
Do I recognize any of these pieces? Like,
No. These would have
No?
been exclusive to the Dwarven Kingdom.
like not through like tales or legend or...
No, these are like well kept Dwarven artifacts. They would never have been brought out.
I'd like to look at one too.
Okay. You guys just tell me what you want to look at.
The shield.
Okay. It's a very sturdy dwarven shield. It's enchanted with runes that you can see kind of pulsing and glowing lightly on the underside of it.
Gonna kind of.
What's that?
I'm gonna hold on to it unless anybody says anything.
Okay. I mean, you guys can always trade things around later too. Like, you're a party, so that's possible.
Yeah.
I think Saoirse will hand the quill to Listener because, like, having a book and then having a quill, it just makes sense. I feel like Listener would be interested in the quill.
Okay.
Sure. May I make an examination of the quill real fast?
Sure.
Oh, it's a much lower number, sadly.
All right. There is some type of very powerful magic attached to it. I hate to use schools, but I will just so that we have a little more information based on your role. It's some type of divination magic.
Fascinating. I feel less of a connection with it than I did with the book, though perhaps that makes sense given my proclivities.
Yeah, but divinatory pen, luminescent codex to light the way, sounds like they go together.
I think it's safe to say we're taking all of them. And then
We could hardly
perhaps-
afford to leave such great wellsprings of power, could we?
I'm not there, otherwise I'd be noting that we weren't supposed to take the book. But
But
it's a good thing I'm not there.
good one. That's
She
the
said-
good
she said-
bit.
Yeah, she said we couldn't take the books.
I'm not certain that this is exactly
You don't
checked
think
into
that's
the
one of the
library
books?
system. I'm
I mean,
not
it's a-
certain it's a readable book at all. After all, he opens a page and holds it up to Az. Not exactly text in there, is there?
What's in there?
Sunlight.
Gotta be more than that.
Must there? I'm
Yeah.
fairly pleased with it already.
Well, yeah, sure, but like a book that makes sunlight, there's it does more than that.
Oh, it is an incredibly powerful
You're
arcane
just
artifact.
blinded by its radiance, so you
Yes,
can't
that
actually
also.
see through it, see what it does.
It has provided instructions for its use, though they are somewhat vague. Alas, we grow distracted. We must search still for Genesis. I don't suppose there's any sign of Genesis having been in this room.
I mean, nothing obvious, no.
Or perhaps she truly did make her escape. That would be most unfortunate, actually. There's no telling how far away she'll make it before she comes to her senses, or indeed if she will. This is gonna wander back out of wizard jail. Come back
Wizard
here to
jail.
the center.
Wizard jail. Okay.
Center of the room, set down and place the book and the quill on top of each other beside him and have a nice think. Do a bit of considering.
All right. So as you exit, I will say that a friend is sitting on the floor, cross-legged, scribing away in her own ghostly book. And she looks up as you begin to exit the room.
Well, hello, Orly.
You've been busy.
Unfortunately so. Did you happen to see our companion Genesis on your way down?
Who is Genesis?
I send a mental image, being somewhat faster.
No.
Ah. I must ask you, was this the librarian's private collection previously?
No.
No? Who dwelled in this place? Who kept these particular volumes?
It was mine.
It was yours. Then
Well,
you should be...
Still is.
Still is. Excellent. Were there any... How to put this? Were there any dangerous psychic entities or mechanisms in this place that may have affected our friend?
Did she try to leave with a book?
No. She looked at a book, but she made no attempt to leave with it.
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Most
Yeah.
interesting.
Do you have the name of the book, listener?
What is this one over here? The Art of Illusion.
That's a primer for apprentice mages to learn how to do parlor tricks.
Very interesting indeed. I'm afraid we were also quite taken with your collection back there and could not help but examining it. We can replace the artifacts if you care.
Those were once a wonder of civilization. You know, all of those items were crafted down here from materials and substances that were discovered beneath the ocean floor. Unique items, unique substances never before seen.
True masterworks they are as well. This one, the luminescent codex in particular, I was quite impressed.
If only I hadn't been so tragically stingy with them when things changed. Oh well, I suppose it's only fitting that you should take them.
It would be quite kind, but
As long as you
Before-
don't take my books.
he holds up the codex. Does this one count? Contains great power, but as far as I can tell, very little knowledge in the written sense.
We'll make an exception.
It is much appreciated. I try to take the sunlight with me wherever I can. But we have a trouble I suppose, before we can even consider making our exit, which is our friend Genesis has disappeared under some duress.
Well, if your friend stays here, she'll die.
Yeah, when you start to wear down.
Yeah. But if you're ready to leave, I can show you the way.
We must consider. She is, well, quite powerful in her own regard. It's possible she has made her escape without us. A moment of panic, but I don't know if we can rely upon this.
I'm not certain. Genesis rather likes to hide.
So it's okay if I grab this sword then?
That's of no use to me.
I mean, it's a little short for me, but you know.
I imagine it's also incredibly heavy, dwarves being dwarves.
It is. It's a very broad sword.
I'm imagining a serve like a pizza paddle.
Not really my style, but you know,
But the craftsmanship.
it's a beautiful piece. So I can, I'll just carry it on my back as a statement.
May I make a suggestion?
What is your suggestion?
We skipped our break, and we have a major decision point.
Okay. Well,
Should we wrap it up here before we do anything that takes us too far into, like, the next leg of doing stuff?
Be nice if Genesis were here. I could use a hug.
Wilhelm goes over to hug.
Yeah, it's not the same.
not the same.
Those Genesis hugs, they hit different.
But thank you. Good hug.
I'm sorry that's not as good a hug.
No, it's fine. Like I kind of like pick you up a couple of feet off the ground and crack your spine in a couple of spots. You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But you see Wilhelm wince.
No. It's like the good kind of like help stretch out those lower vertebrae that to just kind of get a little.
So it's like
You know.
back.
The crap.
Yeah.
Yes, but Wilhelm has like a broken collarbone.
Oh, that's right. Gently then.
Well, if all 6 of you are ready, then I'll show you the way.
Well, can we wait a little bit? I could really.
All
I could.
6?
Yes.
Genesis has decided to relocate.
I'm aware. I'm pointing that out in character.
Ah, yes, of course.
Our friend Genesis. Can I have a hug?
So, as Genesis is there and then suddenly there again, we will do as you're saying. We'll call it. That'll be a good place. She just fades back in quietly and slowly gets noticed.
Before, just I want to say this before we forget.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask what the items are. If they were her personal stuff, she might actually know what they all are.
She won't tell you.
Okay.
Figure it out.
We
Genesis
got all
looks
the
towards-
information we got on these items from her.
Genesis looks towards Az and starts to raise her arms to, like, welcome a hug.
Yeah, just give you a
Hey.
great big hug.
Big hug.
Big bear hug.
Still saying no actual words.
But yes, we can call it there.
All right.
And of course, I have everything that those items do. We can go over that as it's discovered, etc., etc. Magic items in Cairn are more fun that way. Each one's kind of unique. Tonight was a little crazy.
Some things
Yeah.
that happen.
It was exciting. For me, I hope it was exciting for you guys.
Yeah.
The sudden shift of tides there. So much going on. I'm very excited. More connections slowly being made. Of course, too, with the mirror. And she will be leading you outside to continue your journey through the dome. There is a way that goes directly from here to the outside, so we will pick up kind of around there when we come back in 2 weeks.
Is that outside place sort of like the direction it leads? Is that to the Shanakesian place? Which name I forget?
Well, I mean, it's a direction more than. Remember, the dome is huge.
Yeah.
So you're coming up in the same place you went down, more or less.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll pick up again in 2 weeks. Next week we'll be back, of course, with CGL Confidential. Things are getting kind of wacky there as well, which I love. I love wacky. Wacky's wonderful. Wednesday we should be back for Magical Cowboys. No game this Thursday. It's our 1 week break as we shift between Top Secret and into Chance's Last Christmas short shot, which Prem and I both, I believe, will be in that, so that should be entertaining.
Yes.
And then, of course, join the Discord. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, a lot of cool stuff going on. Don't want to miss it. I do hope to see you there. I will see if I can find someone to raid, so stay tuned as I go to the ending screen. And aside from that, thank you, and good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Nice.
Good night.